Today's reading is in Matthew chapter 6, and the verses that stood out to me were verses 5 through 8. So I'll go ahead and read them. Matthew 6, starting in verse 5. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who's in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. And when you pray, do not heap up empty phrases as the Gentiles do, for they think that they will be heard for their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. Now, this passage is in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount, and Jesus had just finished talking about not showing off our good deeds in front of others to be seen by them. And he gave an example about giving, and now he's talking about prayer. He highlights that some people would go into the corners and pray, and they were praying in such a way, trying to receive praise from other people. They wanted people to look at them and say, wow, that person is just a great prayer. He's just a great prayer warrior. And that was their heart. Their heart wasn't to talk to the Father. Their heart was about themselves. They wanted people to look at them. And then in verse 7, he talks about people were just saying big phrases or big words in prayer because they wanted others to be astounded by the amazing words that they were praying. And this, as I apply it to my life, really convicted me because I know there have been times in my life where I have prayed in a group of people and I'm so focused on making sure the words I say sound good so that the people around me who are listening will be like, wow, Dakota, that was a great prayer, Dakota. You brought in scripture to that prayer, Dakota. That's fantastic. And how convicting that is when I read this. Because Jesus is saying here in verse 8, don't be like them. Don't be like them. It's not about these big phrases or big words or the exact right thing and the right way that I need to pray something. He says in verse 8 that my Father already knows what I need before I even ask him. So what should I do? I shouldn't make prayer about people looking at me. I should simply make prayer about coming to the Father and just thanking him for what he's given me and then bringing my requests to him, but doing it humbly. And Jesus even highlights how instead of going out in front of other people so that everyone can see you, he says, go in your room, go in secret and pray to your Father because your Father is hearing you there. So I hope this encourages you to not be so focused about other people and what other people think of you and wanting to please other people and look better in other people's eyes. Prayer is about our relationship with the Father and speaking to him. And I hope that this video encourages you every day to dive in the scripture and ask, Lord, what do you have for me today?